Welcome to Life and Its Ways, the story of living together for the first time forever in the modern age. My name is Eric, and I'm here to say, welcome to a stream about life and its ways. Hello, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Way to jump in and take charge. So, what is up? Good question. Question with a number of possible answers to it. I'm currently watching the USC women's basketball game. And I'm also petting the cat. You could also say that, I'm having a ordinary enough day. We are in the teeth of sleepy week still, but I seem to be having a fairly mild crash this time. At least it doesn't seem to link so much to depression, anxiety stuff as perhaps crashes in recent months. I got a fair amount of sleep today. I also did a typing session today. Which is going to publish, but I have to I need to download it and do a little bit of editing to take out the guy's full name from the display. So that's a little bit of stuff I got to do here work-wise. I don't know if I would really call it work, but it qualifies as work in my limited capacity at the moment, certainly.
It is.
Yeah. I think I'll get started on that right now, in fact, by downloading this. There we go. So the USC game, USC versus Iowa. USC's up 10-4. And, I may live stream for some stretch of this game. We'll see. Hi, Show Media. I mostly just wanted to check in with the internet, say hello. Say I've not disappeared. I just had a couple of days off here. And, but all things considered, things are going pretty okay. I've been watching TV, watching YouTube. Right now I'm actually watching Peacock. Hi, Catman. How's it going? Anyhow, the way of life and its ways. Where am I from? I'm from California, United States. Up near Yosemite, which is where I live. All right, kitty, get down. And at the playground is where I spent most of my days, obviously. Foul on USC. We're up 12-6 at the moment, but I do not expect us to win this game. The women's team has really had a rough go of it this year. We're 11-9. It's not looking good for making the tournament, although if we It would help if we could beat Iowa, but I doubt we're going to beat Iowa. Good evening, sir. I'm I'm very interested in calling you a slur. What nationality am I? I'm American. Would you call me a Yankee? You can call me a Greenland hungry Yankee. I'm not actually hungry for Greenland myself, but it does appear to be our foreign policy at the moment. Our foreign policy consisting of 3 words: let's get Greenland. Well, the neighbor's listening to their horrible music again. But at least it's at a manageable volume at the moment. If I give someone your TE test and they seem to do it well verbally, but in person, in reality, a similar test is a mess from them, what does that mean? I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, I have a lot of experience testing people in ways I can test them, not in testing people the way I can't test them. And I can't test people by evaluating ways in which their behavior deviates from their test answers, because obviously I don't stay around and watch them after we're done typing. Why did I come over here? Oh yeah. Is that there? It is. There. I just wanted to turn those lights off. They're the kind of lights that one forgets to turn off because they're over on that side. Oh, I guess this bad music of theirs is not as bad as some of it. Earlier, one of the guys who goes over there was over there. They were playing music through, I guess, his car speakers. The woofer was just ridiculous. Ridiculous and horrible. Super loud, super bothersome. I watched an interesting video on the death of Hank Williams. It was kind of an old unsolved mystery. Chelsea's only up by 2 now, as we've squandered an early lead. Went cold from the field. 3-pointer, good. All right, well that makes it a 5-point game, so that's an improvement. We only give up a 3 right back. Oh well. You know, tonight's attendance seems to mirror my. That's not a bad hypothesis there, show media. It might be indeed indicative of SE 8th, or SE 7th, I mean. That's conceivable. I don't know. Like I said, it would seem attendance tonight is mirroring my own sort of lack of enthusiasm for things, understandably perhaps. But, we'll stick around for a while. See what else pops up. Currently, SC's up by 4 points. Ooh. It's cold out there.
Is it?
Oh, 50 degrees.
Oh, that's pretty cold.
I don't particularly actually want to talk very much about the subject, but we are making progress on the car front. Looks like we'll have Delilah's car relatively soon. Nice shot.
Oh,
That's
yeah?
20 to 13. Yeah, well, when I talked to Cameron, he said he'd try to get it up here as quickly as possible once the work's done.
Okay.
So that'll make me a little bit less stressed out. I'll also feel a little bit less stressed out once we get the second half of the property taxes paid. Then hopefully we can go into a period of low expenditures. We've had a period of massive expenditures. It's been brutal. But it would appear that some of that nightmare is coming to an end. And that's nice, obviously. Provides some stress relief to know that certain things are wrapping up at least. And I'm, overall I'm surprised, in fact, that this Adderall crash hasn't been too bad. And it's really been quite mild. Like, yeah, I'm not really in a great mood or super enthusiastic about things. Could even go so far as to say that I'm apathetic. But it's also the case that I'm not going through, like, panic attack style anxiety or crying depression or stuff like that. Hi, user 159 scare. I'm fine. How are you? Nice to see you here. What's going on with you and your life and its ways today? Are you pleased with life and its ways or displeased? Would I rather have crabs or AIDS? Obviously, crabs. Alhamdulillah. I'm good. I don't know what Alhamdulillah means. Nothing going on special? Well, I'm watching the USC women's basketball game, and USC's up by 10 points, which is nice. Where am I from? I'm from California, middle of the state, near Yosemite. What's up, bro? About to go into work, just stopping in. Hi, Bullwinkle J. Moose. Well, I hope you have a very nice time at work. Obviously, you're working the late shift. Unless you're in some foreign country, in which case, I don't know. Done. Bang. Yeah, I'm assuming crabs is better. You're from Pakistan, huh? Wow. That's quite far away. I hear you guys don't get along with India. That's one thing I know about Pakistan. Aside from there being a nuclear power, I know that they don't get along with India. What's my age? 54. I look so young. Well, thanks.
He's young at heart.
Do I think Indian tea is better? I have no idea. I'm not a tea drinker, really. When I do get tea, I'll probably just get like Lipton tea. No, I don't like Pakistani sniffing tobacco. I don't even know what that is. I don't think that's a real thing. Nice job, Jazzy Davidson. 28-13 at the end of the
Nice.
first quarter.
That's good.
Well, that's a great first quarter for the USC women's
Yeah.
team. And we will Pakistan is not famous for tobacco. Do you think Initial should take Tibet back? India? Yeah, I do. I think Tibet would be better off Indian than Chinese. It's famous for its food and beautiful places. Cool. I'm sure it's a wonderful place. I've never been there. Don't really plan on going. But I'm not a fan of travel anyway.
I like your style.
Thanks, darling.
I love you.
Yeah, they do have it used to be called. But, I mean, I'm not sure who's really into that. My home country is famous for intricate fabric designs. If you can guess, I'll give you $23 million. Well, that's a good offer. I'm going to say Iran. They're famous for intricate fabric designs. Could also be like Denmark or Sweden, potentially. 30-16 is currently the score. That's pretty good. So what's going on? Like I said, I'm just watching a basketball game, and I decided to live stream a bit to say hi to people who often come to the live streams and just sort of check in. I don't really have any particular subject I'm talking about or anything like that. Am I a singer? I do sing, yeah. I wouldn't call myself a singer per se, like more of a songwriter. But I sing my own songs. My guess is India or China. It was Paraguay. It was Paraguay. Hi Zane, I'm Eric. And this is my wife Rachel.
Hello.
35-18 USC. I'm hesitant to get my hopes up here because I can just see Iowa making a roaring comeback. They're 18-2 on the year. They're like number 5 or number 8. I can't quite see that, but we do currently have a 17-point lead. Playing ping pong in the other room? No, that's the tumble dryer. All right, peace out, Bullwinkle J Moose. You have a nice night too.
That's what I say to him, user.
Thanks, user. Have I ever visited any country in Asia? Yeah, I visited Taiwan and I lived in China for a few months. Wasn't a fan of China. I liked Taiwan. Taiwan was nice. But I've never been to India, Pakistan area, or really any place else in Asia. I've been to a couple places in Europe as well. Oh, nice try though, Jazzy. My wife is from China. Even Chinese people don't like China. Fair enough, you three zombie. We expats in China would say we're having a China day when you know you just couldn't get anything accomplished because of all the nonsense going on. Well, China may be doing well for itself on an international level, but like there's lots of problems with China. You can't drink the water; it's horribly polluted. Uh, oh yeah, big difference between Taiwan and mainland China. Taiwan's like a normal, sane, Western style country, whereas China is an insane China style country. Like, when I was in China, I had some bad dental issues, and you couldn't even get like Tylenol there or aspirin.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. I had to wait multiple days for a Taiwanese as he did periodically come to Shanghai and do work there. I, you know, obviously was not going to go to a Chinese dentist. Well, it's true that smoking tobacco is not good for you. Probably snorting tobacco is not good for you either, would be my guess. Not that I'm an expert on snorting tobacco, but it doesn't seem like it would be healthy. Smoking does seem like it would be healthy, but nevertheless. Kitty, can we not, please? Snuff makes huge snot. My ass itches, but my hands are broke. So there you go. Well, broken hand ass itch is potentially a problem. I can see how that would be troublesome for you. Capio, must you come here?
You broke your finger, ass itching.
I did. I broke my finger one time scratching my ass. I was driving and a new butthole. I tried to like do it through my jeans while I was driving, and I hit a bump. I broke my finger, such that part here was like hanging down loose. That's the little part right at the end.
No, I didn't.
Nicki Minaj and Trump holding hands, huh? Why snort tobacco when you can snort Pablo Escobar? You threw your back out once, wiping your.
I can see that happening.
Could have been worse. Could have gotten stuck. True. Eric, I once again me the ways of the great debate. I was so good at it, the mayor of my city personally attacked me on Facebook and blocked me. Well, good for you.
Like you really did learn something.
Yeah, people don't necessarily like to to have to have to be subjected to, you know, disagreement. It's sauce time, huh? Well, yeah, I'm probably not going to be hitting the soy sauce too hard tonight. Oh, terrible. How do you miss that shot? No, I'm having a soy sauce free day, I think. I'm having a mild mannered day with as much mild mannered pleasantness as I can manage to build up and maintain. Let's fumar del mota. All right, let's. All right, Miss Capillo, time for you to go. Rate your type. Well, there are no legitimately determined subtypes, first of all, and I don't have any reason to think that you've gotten your type right, nor do I have any reason to think you've gotten it wrong, but most people don't have their types right. So, all right, Capillo, it's time for you to get down, sweetie. Go on. Go on. Go on. I mean, it is the case that most people who self-type don't self-type as ISTJ. That's unusual. So, in that regard, you're more likely self-typed than a lot of typed correctly than a lot of types probably. But I'm an ENTP. I do talk about personality type a fair amount. I had a typing session earlier today. I won't say what type he was because I am going to publish it. Yeah. Your mom is actually not my type, just to be clear, Dorothy. So are you a door thief because you steal people's doors? That's your type, huh? Well, it's good to know that you've got that all figured out. It's a long story and an old name. You're going to take a shot in the dark here and go with you once stole a door. That's not a bad shot in the dark. So what have you guys been watching on YouTube today? I've been watching some Mark Felton Productions, which is this World War II documentary kind of stuff. I watched a little bit of track and field content, which I've been on a little bit of a mini binge on track and field content. I'm watching this guy called Jumpman, who kind of produces regular content on the goings on in the track and field world, but sometimes The doors are a bit of an endless supply. You take one, a week or so later, there's a new one. Wow. Makes sense. This guy will make content on like most recent records broken, on some like kid phenoms. Like this 15-year-old just broke the high school record for the 400 sprint or something like that. I don't know if the 400 is considered a sprint or not, actually. 100 and 200 are sprints. 400, well, I'm not sure if that qualifies as a sprint or not. I think it might be qualified as middle distance. A natural people rallier. I was thinking of an episode of Oprah where she said she can never understand or relate to cutters, people who cut their skin with sharp metals to feel better. I would think someone with FE could understand that. I don't think that that necessarily makes sense one way or the other. Well, maybe you've suffered more than she has, you know? Like, suffering will definitely change a person's understanding of things in a variety of ways. You know, I don't think I could understand that before. Uh, I I don't, and also it's like, who knows what people mean when they say they can't understand that, right? Yeah, I mean, I guess it's born of self-loathing, right? More than anything else. I can understand that, but maybe she didn't. She can't, you know. How do you recommend determining your type? Take frequently and average results, or is it mutable and change it? No, it's not mutable. It doesn't change over time, but your test results may, if you're just taking online tests, that's not going to be very useful. If you want to, uh, the best way to determine your type is me typing you, but that costs $100, so I don't know if you want to do that or not. Regardless, it's reasonable for you to think that one might be well served to average results from different parties, but that's actually not the case with typology, unfortunately. The vast majority, pretty much everybody out there, is somewhat wrong about it and or doing a poor job of testing in one or more ways. But my testing approach is uh, consistent, reliable, and backed by lots of experiential data. I mean, experimental data. Like, I've asked those kind of questions many times before. I understand what kind of answers correlate to what other kind of answers and what they represent and so forth. But you know, I wouldn't blame you for being skeptical of my claims here. You know, obviously, it's in my interests to think I'm a better typologist, but that has nothing to do with why I think I'm better. I bought a gram of coke for $70. I didn't catch not one grain. I would like my money back. I don't blame you for wanting your money back. I'm not sure what a drain is. I've not heard that term before, I don't think. But, you know, I'm not a big doer of coke, so. A pleasant burn from tobacco? Well, I believe I have done that before. I'm not skeptical, just curious how you approach this field of psychology. What interests you most about it? Well, I, I did work in the field intellectually for quite a while until I resolved things into what was defensible in terms of claims and what was observationally consistent and so forth. Uh, Quite frankly, it's a it's sort of a great bother in my life because, you know, by profession I'm a debate coach, so I understand that, like, I understand what what I need to do in order to argumentationally sustain my claims. And I also understand what I need to do to be convincing to somebody else. And that requires so much explaining to adequately justify myself that it's uh, it's a daunting task to try to encapsulate things. It's also a daunting task because in this one subject, unlike other subjects, I can't have people Google things and verify that what I'm saying is correct because other people aren't correct about it. And as to why I'm interested in it is because it's genuinely, quote unquote, the meta frame, in that you can always reduce any other conceivable kind of data point into an expression of somebody's attention in some capacity. So, because yes, you did just steal, Daryl, and you're engaged in what I would say immoral debauchery anyway. But you know, who am I to judge other people for their human failings? So, as you may be able to hear, the neighbors are once again listening to absolutely terrible music. I guess that was too terrible even for them. They changed the channel. Oh. Yeah, earlier they really had a bump in. I could hear it inside the house. It was fucking super annoying. There's neighbors what you might call problem neighbors. Tobacco snuff long term is messy. I believe it. I mean, smoking's messy too, so is chewing tobacco. They're all messy habits. Like, my smoking habits are one of those things that I or keep kind of like have on in infinite put off, you know, put off dealing with it another day, another day, another day. I can't keep smoking the way I do for the rest of my life. You know, it's not good for you. But life in its ways. Old habits die hard. I just emptied a cigarette showering, but it's a cool one. I thought you showered and smoked a cigarette at the same time. That's a real smoking habit you got there. Yeah, it's cooties. I like Ruben's explanation. I think it makes good sense. Oh. Well, SE still got the lead here at halftime. I have my doubts that we can hold it in the second half. I've seen this team collapse too many times. This team just knows how to lose. They show a lot of fight like this in different parts of the games. But literally, it's like this team has learned how to lose games. And is perfecting the art every game a little bit more. So I have zero faith that we're going to hold on and win this game. It would be a substantial win if we could get it. We do have a couple of wins against some good teams, but I don't know if that's going to be enough to get us into the tournament. We've already got 9 losses. Oh. Okay, well, we've got the second half coming up here. And my plan, I think, is to... well, sure, they changed the key of the fart. From F to G sharp, I think it is. That seems obvious. No, Capillo, I don't want you sitting over here.
Seriously.
Just go sit on those chairs over there.
That'd be great. No, Capillo.
Sweetie.
I'll help you out.
I'm gonna carry her over to those chairs over there.
That's better for you.
Modulate was definitely the better choice there, Ruben. I think you can rest assured you made the right choice. I asked, I typed somebody today, asked the following, any question. I said, can you come up with some names for my new invention? And my invention was a sombrero that has a margarita blender built into it. I believe one of the names he came up with was Margarero. Sombrita. Okay, well there you go. Daryl, I don't generally make moderators anymore. There's nothing against you at all. It's just I just don't make moderators anymore. I don't need as many moderators as I have, and they were made moderators by and large a long time ago for reasons unrelated to moderation need. I'm pretty consistent about that. Being in the Big Ten is not the same as the Pac-12. Well, I mean, last year the USC women's team did great. We won the regular season and lost the tournament, I believe, to UCLA. But this year's team is not nearly as good. I didn't know you were black. How am I supposed to know what race you are? I still don't have any reason to conclude you are. You're pink as far as I'm concerned. Just like Dr. Red Taco, despite his name, is actually orange. But you know, this year's team has been a big disappointment from last year's. Last year's squad, we had three uh, fantastic freshmen that I was excited to see come back and play again this year, and they all transferred. Kaylee Heckle transferred. Avery Powell transferred, and wasn't there one more? Seems like there was one more. So that was pretty sad. I tried my hand at invention once, putting a magnet in your closet wall, metal in your clothes. You just throw them at the closet. Everyone laughed at it. And nowadays, it's a thing. I think it's a good enough idea. Except your clothes will have to be heavier because they'll have metal in them. Why not just put like opposite magnets in there in your clothes? Daryl Parker. I'll put that on the list of things we didn't need to know. Well, the second half's about to start here. And I do feel somewhat enlivened a little bit by this live streaming.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. You know, I think everybody needs some of one, two, and three, you know. Sometimes by themselves, sometimes with their partner, or just with one other person, and sometimes with a larger group. Well, Daryl Parker, you do surprise me. NIL has changed college sports. What happened to the Scholar Athlete Olympics too? Yeah, well, is that for the worst, for the best? I don't know. I guess it's a mixed bag. You can't blame young athletes for wanting to capitalize on their time in the spotlight while they have it. For most of them, it's going to be short-lived. Um, and you know, it's good for them to make money when they can. That was a poor shot by Jazzy Davidson. She does sometimes look very much like a true freshman that she is. And thanks, T-Bag, for sharing that. We'll put that on that same list of things that we probably didn't need to know. Holy shit, he's back. I'm back and better than ever. How am I doing? What can you expect from the stream? Not a whole heck of a lot. I'm doing pretty flat, a little apathetic, you might say. But not unbearably so. How is that a foul? How is that a foul? Or maybe they didn't call it a foul. They called jump ball there. Anyone have other names for Hatarita? Well, I think you could call it the Fiesta Siesta. Because you fiesta with the margarita and then you siesta with sombrero. I think you could call it the Sip and Shade. You call it Tomorrow's Hangover. The last advent of code problem was very vague, so I'm kind of bummed out on that. That's way better any than my answers would usually be. Well, it is my dominant function. Call it Juan's Vacation. I think that's a pretty good name. Well, it's down to a 9-point lead now, 48-39, as Iowa is mounting a bit of a comeback. We're still fighting. Yes, I will call it the cap and drown you. End up in the hospital wearing a gown. I see. What is a Hatarita? Well, I asked the question. Names for an invention. And the invention is a sombrero with a margarita maker attached, built into it. I like my name Juan's Vacation. I think that's an excellent name for the product. You guys realize I skip out and come back on a different drug and demonstrate for you guys? I did not realize that, no. Like breaking down the language or concept in reducible chunks and rotating those around a bit. Right. Well, that's one of the things I look for in any test results is like different kinds of answers. But I'm likely to start off with the same, like put the two words together thing as anybody else. We're all still trying to be bullseye. Yeah, well, in a typing session like today, I guess you could say I walk away from it pleased by the power of the tests in general to guide me away from misleading correlates. If this girl at work that I'm very much attracted to her, I'm thinking about handing her $40 after that. I hope she understands the assignment. Daryl Parker. That's horrible. Horrible, but funny for some reason. That one, I'll admit, is pretty funny. Pretty ridiculous, but pretty funny. Yeah, when I fail to resist it, it seems to always bite me in the ass. Seems to always. Oh. We missed 2 free throws. You lose yourself in the moment. You got to own it. I don't remember the rest of the words. Something about spaghetti, being ready, hugging your teddy, something like that. You got one shot. Do not miss your shot chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime, yo. I remember back in the Pete Carroll era, the USC football team used to come out to a loop of the beginning of that song. You know, the bum 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 dun 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 dun. It was always like kind of give you goose pimples, you know. You're making spaghetti right now, huh, Carrot? Well, aren't you the Italian chef? Period poo. All right, well, we're back up by 5 points only. I knew all about MBTI now. When you were, say, 17 or 18, how would it have made a difference? Boy, that's a tough question to answer. I probably still would have been immature and stuff, you know. I don't know how it would have impacted things, but I might have gotten upset with it in a similar way that I did when I discovered it when I was older. I'm not sure. Marbrero, Funny Sunny, Crown Arita. Well, there you go. It's not too bad. Crown Arita, huh? I use the pasta sauce, water in the sauce, like a real Italian chef. Well, it's 57 to 49 now. We're up by 8 points. It's nice to see you here, Carrot. Thanks for coming by. You know, I feel strangely fine. This Adderall crash, I don't know what's going on exactly. I'm a little skeptical. I think like, oh, it's gonna hit hard soon enough or something. But maybe just that I got more and better sleep out the gate. I'm not really sure. It's nice that you always stream during cooking time. Oh, that's cool. It's not on purpose, just happens to be, I guess. So, it would be wonderful if this represents some kind of return to an old norm. But it's really hard to say, I guess. I used to think I was high NE, but I'm starting to wonder if my conception of NE was wrong. Well, it's like Ruben was pointing out, there is one kind of distinction you can note about stronger / weaker NE is quantity of answers, different, disparateness of answers. In other words, multiple kinds of different answers. You gave multiple kinds of answers, but like the funny, sunny, crown a reader are two kind of the same kind of answers, or actually like the third one is kind of a mix between the second and the first kind of answer. Uh, but you know, it comes out great that way. Also, I like to stop it al dente that be because that bee keeps cooking after you take it off the heat. What I was calling any was a sort of hyperbolic tangential way of thinking in which I dream of ideas and dive through mental rabbit holes, often picking the most immediately and mentally stimulating one. Yeah, well, I don't know. This is the sort of thing where I'd have to actually formally test you. 10-point game now as he's stretched the lead back to double digits. That's good. Nice. Iowa misses the shot. SC's got the ball and a 10-point lead. And we're putting together a pretty complete game here, I must say. 61 to 49 now. I haven't seen SC look this good really since very early in the season, maybe. Good night, guys and gals. Like, share, sub, comment if you haven't done so. Air President Air, everybody. Thanks, Daryl Parker. You're a wonderful man who says wonderful things. And I appreciate the reminder to like and sub and stuff. Nice job. Wow. 63 to 49. 14-point lead. 2:45 left in the third quarter. The USC women's team is looking good, looking lively, looking like they're covered in ivy. All right, Trouble, it's time for you to move. Would good film directing require good TE? I don't know. Probably, I would guess, but I've never directed a film. I mean, I don't think. I think that SI is a good learning function. If you learn on the set of some movie, if you're like at the right hand of somebody who's doing it well, then you might do it well yourself. That sounds like a little bit of, I guess, a mania thing. I lost my ass on the Rams game. I'm dancing naked to the old home folk this week and next, putting it all on the Patriots. Patriots over the Seahawks, huh? I mean, I'm not sure. Yeah, Dr. Red Taco, I think Show Media misspoke a little bit there. Um, Feels like NI or that SI is getting inspired by the revelation, getting all physically charged up about it, and then that state leads you to new inspiration. Hmm. Well, here we go now. Here we go. 63 to 49. Iowa's taking the ball in, down by 14. So far, so good here in the third quarter. But I think this USC team is very prone to here we go again syndrome if Iowa goes on a run. Because this team has found a way to lose throughout the season. Patriots barely beat a backup QB. Seahawks will roll over Patch D. You know, I think I'm inclined to think the Seahawks are going to win too. Will I be rooting for the Seahawks? Well, mostly I'll be rooting for a good game, but I guess, yeah, I'll probably be rooting for the Seahawks, but I don't think that's influencing my call here. I think the Seahawks have looked better throughout the playoffs. You think he'd make an excellent film director and casting director as well? Well, I believe you. Over under on how many bird sounds Eric makes during the game. Does that include cockadoodle doo? Or a whippoorwill? Hmm. Well, I'm going to say the over under should be at about 40. Oh. if English is a bird sound, then probably quite a bit of bird sounds. Uh, a whole hen house's worth of bird sounds. Well, SC missed the 3-pointer, but looks like we're going to take the ball in bounds, so that's good. Kara Dunn drives the lane, scores a quick 2. Nice play. We're up by 16 now with a minute left in the third quarter. This would be fantastic if we could take this game somehow. Because we are unranked 11 and 9. Iowa's in the top 10. I can't see from here. I think it's 8. Nice, huge 3-pointer. It is now 70 to 51. Is it better to burn out than fade away? No, I don't think so. And that's make it hard to know who I am and what I enjoy. Yeah, I could understand that might be the case. Chat topic, life and its ways. Yeah. There's a lot of things that fall under the general category of life and its ways. Well, I'm glad I watched this game so far anyway. 5 seconds left in the third quarter. We're up by 19 over a top 10 Iowa team. Can we hold on in the fourth quarter and win this game is another question. Let's go, Kara Dunn. Shoot that. Quick. Oh, she didn't get off in time. Yes, that noise is your classic tumble dryer with a thing inside of it. What is the thing? It could be a lighter. It could be uh, a small zip hoodie. Could be even. I think if it were overalls, it would be louder. Is it overalls? It's overalls. It's overalls. Life has its ways. Needs better director. Yeah. Call underwear underalls. Well, because the only kind of underwear that makes sense to call underalls would be long underwears that have the body part too. Onesies, basically. Those you call underalls because they go under all of your clothes. But if you're just wearing boxers or briefs, those don't go under your top clothes. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Would we ever buy stuff from Temu? I don't think so. From what I understand, it's generally kind of low quality stuff.
Yeah. Like AliExpress.
What's that?
It's like AliExpress.
Never even heard of that. Is that like Alibaba?
Yeah.
Union suit with a trap. Well, then you aren't wearing underalls or undersums. You want to major in computer science or chemistry, and then do the other as a minor? Okay. I'm going to go outside for another cigarette as we go into the fourth quarter of this game. And we'll see if we can hold on to this 19-point lead. Driving the lane. Oh! I guess. Was she fouled or no? We were called for the foul. I enjoy problem solving, specifically for the rush of finally solving one. No, I'm not going to snort a cigarette today. Thank you, though. All right, still 70-51. Iowa's got the ball. SC grabs the rebound. Got stopped there. Jazzy Davidson gets fouled, driving into the lane. 9 minutes, 13 seconds left. Still a 19-point lead. I'm still not a believer, having watched this team blow such leads on multiple occasions this season already. Oh God, they're still listening to music out here? These fucking people. It's not especially loud right now. I can't can't complain about the volume at the moment. 73-53. It's now a 20-point game. Carry down, tries to drive down along the side. Goes in the lane. Somebody takes a 3-point shot. I can't see who it is. Oh, come on, guys. Come on. Oh, you can just feel it's falling apart. We make games or creative simulation. Most people should have the experience of having shower thoughts, right? I guess because it's very relaxing and you start having inspiring thoughts. Well, maybe I'd have more shower thoughts if I took more showers. I believe that having too much water on my skin promotes the spread of miasma. Things that fire you up. Oh, what's playing in the background? The neighbor's horrible music. It's all very terrible. Like consistently incredibly terrible. The best thing I've ever heard them play, I heard, I think it was yesterday, I heard them playing that song, Country Roads, West Virginia, Take Me Home. That was pretty good, I guess. Sometimes in the bath, everything begins looking blue. Blue like sad. My mind is usually active in my, it's just my deliberation runs down before my action runs down. Boy, that's what I call a humble brag if I ever heard one. Oh, I have a problem doing too much action I need to do. Unlike Eric. I'm just kidding, Ruben. Mm. Blue like cyan, huh? Oh God, A1 Wooch Crew is, yeah, because it means you get to do stuff. You know, well, I don't think they, I don't think they generally like John Denver. I don't even think it was by John Denver. I think it was a cover, but it was tolerable to listen to. Unlike everything else they play. All right, back up to 20 points. Jazzy Davidson hits a jump shot from the lane. Anyway, I was just joking about it being a humble brag. I was just feeling a little jealous of your Dewiness, of your Dewey Decimal System. Like, why didn't Dewey Decimal ever stop by my house and make me have his system? Is it because I'm too busy talking about it all the time? My brain is so big and unique, I do usually stuff unusually. Look how I hold my pen. Well, I don't think he's saying that. I don't do stuff in the usual way. Instead of doing stuff, I talk about how I should be doing stuff. I think that's a pretty usual way to not do stuff. Oh, 18-point game, 6.5 minutes left. I can just feel this thing crumbling away. Okay, the thing's looking blue. Might be, maybe clear water directs more blue into your eyes. Who knows? Well, I do the opposite. I brag self-loathe. I brag about how much I hate myself. I hate myself so much. How much do you hate yourself, Eric? I hate myself more than I hate communism. In Soviet Russia, government hate you. Oh, Yakov's. Mankov, whatever your name was. Yakov Smirnov, that's his name. If you go into chemistry, you can synthesize your own meds in the lab. That's true. That is an advantage to chemistry. Of course, you'll have to get some beakers and Bunsen burners. Those are the key tools of chemistry. All right, it's a 17-point game. SE has the ball. Jazzy Davidson driving, tries the bank shot, misses it, unfortunately. 5 minutes left. Well, I guess it must depend on which way the light's diffracting. It makes mine look like its boundaries are wavy lines. Oh, I missed another shot. You can see SE just falling apart here. There's only 4.5 minutes left, and we still have a 17-point lead. You'd think we'd be able to hold on to this, but yeah. A buoy. Have I confirmed this claim that I'm making about blurry lines? No, I just assume it must be the case because things underwater look blurry. Never actually. Oh yeah, you know what? I'd not thought about that before either. Buoyant means buoy-esque in its floatiness. Buoy-esque in its floatiness. Maybe you're just a floater. I used to be a floater until my penis got shot in the war. And now it's full of lead and it sinks right to the bottom. Yeah. The dense boys. Well, we're being treated to a good basketball game in the sense that we actually have a chance of winning this game late in the fourth quarter. I still am plagued with doubts. But if we could win this game, we need to do a lot more winning. But is it boyoid? I mean, I think it's just a buoy. Buoy. Buoy's kind of a strange word. It doesn't look like it should be pronounced buoy, does it? Yeah. No, Ruben, that's Bowie, like the knife, not buoy, like the thing that floats. Why wouldn't it be buoy-esque? instead. Or buoy-ish, buoy-like, buoy-adjacent. All right, we've got the ball. 4 minutes, 18 seconds left. We got a 17-point lead. Oh, nice shot. Kennedy Smith makes a tough shot. Tough hook shot off the bank underneath the outstretched arm of the defender. And now it's a 19-point lead. Iowa takes a shot in the lane. We get the rebound. Things are looking good. Things are looking bright. Things are looking shiny. Fight, fight, fight.
You really are a cheerleader.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
It's a buoy-esque buoyoid, huh? Do buoys come in any shape? Or are they always shaped like a pear? It's a Boolean. No, that refers to a kind of search. All right, 79-60. And USC has the ball with 3 minutes and 17 seconds left. You would think that we would win this game at this point. We're doing a good job of chewing clock here. And Kira Dunn makes a nice 2-pointer. It is now a 21-point lead with 3 minutes left. Wow. This is looking very promising. Iowa gets 2 back. Now a 19-point game. They're asking about Ruben's buoy. I think he has the data for all their shapes. Bell, pear, apple, helmet, and corkscrew. Huh. I wasn't talking about Ruben's buoy. I was talking about normal buoys. I don't spend a lot of time talking about Ruben's buoy. Gurley have different shapes. Yes, Gurleys are different, obviously. This is a very silly conversation about buoys. Oh, oh, we almost got the steal. Yeah, Davidson almost did. Nice block, or they called the foul. Yeah, okay, fair enough, Gil. Fair enough. Buoyoid is the noun. That's fine. You win the argument. Congratulations. It is indeed true that the or duck phalluses are like that too. I think cat phalluses might be as well. That buoy-esque is not an acceptable alternative to buoyoid because it's an adjective. So I stand corrected. Everybody can put this in their memory banks as that time Eric was wrong about void. If you're not blowing your second, said Dr. Red Talk, I'm pretty sure there are other options besides those 2 options. You could be doing neither, for example. Yeah, gives them better purchase, apparently. I think wolves have something equivalent. but maybe I'm remembering the wrong animal. Maybe it's not wolves. Could be coyotes, I'm thinking of. Something like that. I think for only a tiny moment we're either sucking or blowing. Well, look, not all inhalation counts as sucking. Some of it's just regular inhalation. All right, well, now it's a 14-point game, and there's a minute 23 left. Iowa's come roaring back, but Jazzy Davidson passing it around the outside, trying to use clock. Kira Dunn drives the lane, gets nothing. Good to know, Teabag. But even if you were to qualify it as such, there's also plenty of times where we hold our breath for one reason or another. All right, now it's a 12-point game with 42 seconds left. It seems unlikely that Iowa can come back with this little amount of time. But I don't love the fact that we once again have proved very cold late in the game with the game potentially on the line. We just had enough of a lead tonight. Oh, she misses that shot. 17 seconds left now. Iowa is going to shoot a three-pointer, miss it. We grab the rebound. 7 seconds left. Just going to let the clock run out. And USC gets a big win. Big win. Am I a Lakers or a Clippers fan? I mean, I guess technically a Lakers fan, but I haven't cared about the NBA for a long time. I'm much more fond of college basketball. It's much less a graveyard of commercials and foul shots. That's a big win. We beat number 8 Iowa, who coming into this game had 2 losses on the year. If we're going to get into the tournament at all this year, we're going to need to have some big wins on our resume like this. What got me into chemistry, funnily enough, was OChem nomenclature. I liked learning the system behind compounds, or given their official IUPAC names. Wow, doesn't that sound incredibly dull? You're an Eastern Conference fan, and you like B. Well, good job, USC. Good job.
Good job indeed.
It's not that cold here. It's only 49 degrees. So it's on the chilly side, but I wouldn't call it cold. You like Villanova? Well, I'm sure they usually have a good chance of making the tournament. Often go deep. I'm hoping that somehow both the USC men's and women's team makes the tournament. But I've got my doubts about some of them. About either of them, really. I don't know. The men's team is, I think, 15-5. It's already in me. The women's team is now 12-9, which is not good, but that was a big win. That might be the sounds off. I mean, is anybody else not hearing me? Yeah, Fly Guy says I do have sound. It's not the official name, but one theory could refer to it as N-alpha dimethylphenethylamine. You're not hearing me, Argilla. I'm just mute. I've lost the ability to speak. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. The game's over, and I think maybe Rachel and I can find a movie to watch.
Yeah.
It's not impossible.
No.
Anybody got any hot movie tips?
Yeah. What recommendations do you have? We have Netflix, HBO.
We've got YouTube as well, so we can rent it.
Yeah, true. We can just rent it. Yeah. Any recommendations?
Any Hallmark Christmas movies you want to recommend? Blade Runner 2049 was pretty good. I don't think I want to watch Pig. I don't even know what it's about, but I already don't like the idea of it based on its title. In terms of shows, Supernatural is good.
I know Supernatural was popular, like, when I was, I don't know, high school and college.
The Long Walk, Stephen King. I don't generally like Stephen King that much. Well, what's it about, Shamidia? What's Pig about? We could Google it as well. Well, that sounds a little intense for me right now, Gil. I want something, I guess, pleasant, not too sad. That show, Joey, Fall Up to Friends. The Librarians recommends Kaleidoscopic Void. I think I've watched
I feel like we have.
The Librarians.
Isn't it a bunch of, like, magic kids?
Maybe. Forrest Hump,
Oh, yes,
another classic.
Oh,
And he's like, "Hey, how you doing?"
wow.
Yeah, there's some great writing in that show, Joey. All right, show me. What's your great one? I didn't really enjoy Better Call Saul that much.
Well, it's hard watching your type in that life, right? Like, don't you feel kind of for the character?
Yeah, I guess I resonate with it too much or something.
Yeah, because, like, I actually liked it. I thought it was good. It would have been a show that I would continue to watch, but I fell too far behind to catch up.
Huh. Well, we could companion, huh? What's that one about? Okay. Well, I guess we will figure it out, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we'll see you guys later. And thanks a lot for being here. I hope you have a great evening.